Yeah, right. Come on. That's fine. So, yeah. So, we are live. Jai Gurudev. So, namaskar, welcome, and welcome everybody to the Navratri celebration with Shruti, Prita, and me, Vera. So, today is the day 4, and we're gonna hear this story from Priti, and we're gonna also today listen to some very special chants, Sri Suktam and Sri Varahi Sahasranam. Hope you enjoyed. Just meditate and you'll be blessed. So
beautiful. So today is the day of Kushmanda, wherein eternity in a pumpkin. Once sage Narada on his way to Vaikuntha met a scholar who was totally committed to his practices. The scholar requested Narada to check with Lord Vishnu as to when he would be invited to Vaikuntha. Traveling further, he met a cobbler who was singing praises of Lord Vishnu. The cobbler too shared with Narada his desire to have darshan of the Lord. The celestial sage soon reached Vaikuntha and gave Lord Vishnu the messages. Referring to the scholar, Vishnu said, he has several lifetimes yet. When Narada mentioned the cobbler, Vishnu said, yes, I was preparing to go and meet him myself. Narada was surprised at Lord's response. Smiling, Lord Vishnu said, go back and tell them what I had said. They will ask you what I was doing. Tell them I was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle. Bewildered, Narada returned with the message. When he shared the same with the scholar, he was very upset. He thought that Narada was lying because the whole idea of putting an elephant through the eye of a needle appeared illogical and meaningless. Narada then met the cobbler and repeated the message. Cobbler was amazed and smiled at wonder. He thanked Narada profusely. Surprised, Narada asked, don't you find the message a little ridiculous and unreasonable? The cobbler gazed at Narada for a few moments, then led him to the edge of the cliff and showed him a vast banyan tree below it. He said, for the one who can fit this entire tree in one tiny seed and then have so many such seeds sprout in each tree, putting an elephant through the eye of a needle is nothing. Every act of the Lord is a miracle. Narada now understood why Lord was coming to meet the cobbler. The word Kushmanda means pumpkin, one of the most energy-rich vegetables known. Pumpkin contains so many seeds, and each seed has potential to become so many more pumpkins. This is the representative of the creative power of the universe and its eternal nature. The whole creation is similar to a pumpkin. As Kushmanda, the Devi contains the entire creation within her. She can give you the highest prana, which is total and complete, like a spear. Gurudev says that this entire creation, both manifest and the unmanifest, is like a huge round ball of pumpkin. He explains you have all kinds of diversities here, from smallest to the largest. Anda means a cosmic egg or the cosmic sphere. Ku means small. Sh means the energy. The energy, the universe is pervaded by energy right from the smallest to the largest. It moves from the small to the big and from the big to the small. The small seed becomes a large fruit, and from the fruit comes back to the seed. The energy within us has this unique quality of being smaller than the smallest and larger than the largest. The Mother Divine manifests herself as the prana, the life force energy within us. Feel the abundance and fullness in your life and see everything in this creation as alive and filled with prana. Seeing that awakened intelligence manifest and pervade the entire creation is the meaning of Devi Kushmanda.
Such a lovely explanation.
Oh, very deep story. Oh.
Yeah. Kushmanda. We'll just hear.
हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजाम् चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीम् यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं गामश्वं पुरुषानहम् अश्वपूर्वां रथमद्यां हस्तिना आरप्रबोधिनीम् श्रियं देवीमुपह्वये श्रीर्मा आदेवीर्जुषताम् तां सोऽस्मितां हिरण्यप्राकारामार्द्रां ज्वलन्तीं तृप्तां तर्पयन्तीं पद्मे स्थितां पद्मवर्णां तामिहोपह्वये श्रियम् चन्द्रां प्रभासां यशसा ज्वलन्तीं श्रियं लोके देवजुष्टामुदाराम् तां पद्मिनीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये लक्ष्मीर्मे नश्यतां त्वां वृणे आदित्यवर्णे तपसोऽधिजातो वनस्पतिस्तव वृक्षोत बिल्वः तस्य फलानि तपसानुदन्तु मायान्तरायाश्च बाह्या अलक्ष्मीः उपैतु मां देव सकः कीर्तिश्च मणिना सह प्रादुर्भूतोऽस्मि राष्ट्रेऽस्मिन् कीर्तिमृद्धिं ददातु मे क्षुत्पिपासामलाञ्जेष्टामलक्ष्मीर्नाशयाम्यहम् अभूतिमसमृद्धिं च सर्वां निर्नुदमे ग्रहात् गन्धद्वारान् दुरादर्शान् नित्यपुष्टां करीषिणीम् ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां तामिहोपह्वये श्रियम् मनसः काममाकूतिं वाचः सत्यमशीमहि पशूनां रूपमन्नस्य मयि श्रीश्रयतां यशः कर्दमेन प्रजा भूता मयि सम्भव कर्दमा श्रियं वासय मे कुले मातरं पद्ममालिनी आपसृजन्तु स्निग्धानि चित्पीतवसमे गृहे निच देवीं मातरं श्रियं वासय मे कुले आर्द्रां पुष्करिणीं पुष्टिं पिङ्गलां पद्ममालिनीं चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः आर्द्रां यः करिणीं यष्टिं सुवर्णां हेममालिनीं सूर्यां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं प्रभूतं गावो दास्योश्वान विद्येयं पुरुषानहम् सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते नारायणि नमोऽस्तु ते ॐ महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मीः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वाराह्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वामन्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वामायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं बगलायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वासव्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वसवे नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वैदेह्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं निरसुवे नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं बालायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वरदायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं विष्णुवल्लभायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वन्दितायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वसुधायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वश्यायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं यातास्यायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वञ्चिन्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं बलायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वसुन्धरायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वीथिहोत्रायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वीथिराजायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं विहायस्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गर्वायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं खनिप्रियायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं काम्यायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कमलायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं काञ्चन्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रमायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धूम्रायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कपालिन्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वामायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कुरुकुल्लायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कलावत्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं याम्यायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं आग्नेयै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धरायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धन्यायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दायिन्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ध्यानिन्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ध्रुवायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धृत्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं लक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं जयायै नमः। ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तुष्ट्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शक्त्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मेधायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तपस्विन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वेदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं जयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कृत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कान्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं स्वाहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शान्त्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं लज्जायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं स्मृत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं निद्रायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तन्त्रायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गौर्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शिवायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं स्वधायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चण्ड्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अभयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भीमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भाषायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भामायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भयानकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भूधरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भयावहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भीरवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भैरव्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अन्तारायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पट्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्गुरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं घोषणायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं घोरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं घोषिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं घोडसंयुक्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अघ्नायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गर्धरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं घोडयुक्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अघनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पूर्वायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं आग्नेयै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं याम्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नैऋत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वायव्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं उत्तरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वारुण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ऐशान्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ऊर्ध्वायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अधस्थितायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पृष्ठायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दक्षायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अग्रगायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वामगायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भृङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नाभिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ब्रह्मरन्ध्रायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अर्कायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं स्वर्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पातालगायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भूमिगायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ह्रियै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं श्रियै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं क्लीन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तीर्थायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्रीत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्रियै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गिरे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अव्ययायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ऋग्रूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं यजुर्रूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सामरूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं परायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं यात्रिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं उदुम्बरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गदाधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं असिधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शक्तिधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शापधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं इक्षुधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शूलधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चक्रधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सृष्टिधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं झरत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं युवत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं बालायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चतुरङ्गबलोद्घटायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सत्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अक्षरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं आदिभेत्र्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धात्र्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं हरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं हडवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं क्षेत्रज्ञायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कम्पिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ज्येष्ठायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दूरदर्शायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धुरन्धरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मालिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मानिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मात्रे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं माननीयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मनस्विन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं महोत्कटायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मन्युकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मनुरूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मनोजवायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मेधस्विन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मध्यागतायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मधुपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मङ्गलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अमरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मायायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मात्रे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं आम्यहरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मृडान्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं महिलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नृत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं महादेव्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मोहकर्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मञ्जवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मृत्युञ्जयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अमलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मांसलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मानवायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मूलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं महालसायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मृगाङ्गकार्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मर्तालसायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नीलकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं श्याममहिष्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मदन्तिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मूर्च्छापहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मोहापहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषापहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मोहापहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मदापहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नृत्यपहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मलापहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ग्लौं सिंहाननायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं व्याघ्राननायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कुक्षाननायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं महिषाननायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मृगाननायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं क्रोडाननायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धुन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धरिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं केतवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दरिद्र्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धावत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धवायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धर्मध्वनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ज्ञानपरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धनप्रदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धान्यप्रदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धराप्रदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पापनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दोषनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रिपुनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं व्याधिनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सिद्धिदायिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कलारूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं काष्ठारूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं क्षमारूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अक्षरूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अहोरूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं त्रुटिरूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं श्वासरूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं समृद्धारूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुभुजायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रौद्र्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं राधायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रागायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शरण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रामायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रतिप्रियायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं हृष्टायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रक्षिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रविमध्यगायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रजन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रमण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रेवायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रङ्गन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रञ्जन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रोषायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रोषवत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गर्दिजयप्रदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रथायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रूक्षायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रूपवत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सरास्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रुद्राण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रणपण्डितायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं यमुनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं स्वसवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मत्वै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कण्टक्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तुङ्गभद्रायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कावेर्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कौशिक्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्रणवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं खड्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं उरगवत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सारायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सहस्राक्षायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्रदर्धनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सर्वज्ञायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शाङ्कर्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शास्त्र्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं जटाधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अयोधशायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं यावत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सौरभ्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कुब्जायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वक्रतुण्डायै नमः ॐ ऐं लोक्यदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चन्द्रापीठायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वेदवेद्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सङ्किन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं लीलोदितायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ज्ञानातीतायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अवैच्छेद्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मृत्युरूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं त्रिवर्गदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अरूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं बहुरूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नानारूपायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नदाननायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषाकपये नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषारूढायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषेश्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषवाहनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषप्रियायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषावर्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषपर्वायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वृषाकृत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कोदण्डिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नागचूडायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चक्षुव्याख्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं परमात्मिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्वासायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्गहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं देव्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुरावासायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुरारिहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं राधायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुःखहन्त्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुराराध्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दवीयस्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुरावासायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुःखहस्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुःखम्बायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं द्रुहिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुवेण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं स्मरण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं श्यामायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं मृगदापिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं याददापिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अर्कदापिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दाक्ष्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पाशुपत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गौणव्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गुणपाशनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तपर्दिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कामकामायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कमनीयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कलोज्ज्वलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कासावहृते नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तारकान्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कम्बुकण्ठ्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कृतागमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कर्कशायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कारणायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कान्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कल्पायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अकल्पायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कटङ्कटायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं श्मशाननिलयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं विन्दायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गजारूढायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गजापहायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तत्प्रियायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तत्परायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रायायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं स्वर्भानवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कालवञ्चिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शाखायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं विशिखायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कोशायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुशाखायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं केशपाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं व्यङ्ग्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुशाङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वामाङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नीलाङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अनङ्गरूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं साङ्गोपाङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सारङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शुभाङ्गायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रङ्गरूपिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भद्रायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुभद्रायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भद्राक्ष्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सिंहिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं विनतायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अदित्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं हृदयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अवध्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शुभध्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गद्यप्रियायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पद्यप्रियायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्रसवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चर्चिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं भोगवत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अम्बायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सारस्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सवायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नट्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं योगिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पुष्करायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अनन्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं परायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं साङ्ख्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शस्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं निम्नकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं निम्ननाभायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सहिष्ण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं जागृत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं लिप्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दमयन्त्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दण्डायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं उद्दण्डिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दारदायिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दीपिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दामिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धात्र्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दक्षकन्यायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नरदे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दामिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं द्रविण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दर्व्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दण्डिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दण्डनायिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दानप्रियायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दोषहन्त्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुःखनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दारिद्र्यनाशिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दोषदायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दोषकृते नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दोभ्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दोहत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं देविकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अधनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दर्विकर्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्वलितायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दुर्युगायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अद्वयवादिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अश्वायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अनन्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं दृष्ट्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं उन्मत्तायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कमलायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अरसायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं धारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं तारकान्तरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं परमात्मने नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं कुब्जलोचनायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं इन्दवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं हिरण्यकवचायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं व्यवस्थायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं व्यवसायिकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ईशनन्दायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नत्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नाट्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं यक्षिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सर्पिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वर्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुधायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं विश्वसखायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शुद्धायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुवर्णायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अङ्गधारिण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं जनन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्रतिभागेरवे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं साम्राज्ञै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं संविदे नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं उत्तमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अमेयायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अरिष्टधमन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं पिङ्गळायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं लिङ्गवारुण्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं चामुण्डायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्लाविन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं हालायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं नृहते नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ज्योतिष्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं गुरुक्रमायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुप्रतीकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं अव्यवाक्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं प्रलापिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सपस्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वाग्विन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ज्येष्ठायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शिशिरायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं ज्वालिन्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं रुच्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शुक्लायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शुक्रायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं सुजायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शोकायै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं शुक्यै नमः ॐ ऐं ग्लौं वेद्यै नमः
नमश्चण्डिकाय
So, everybody's alive?
So the first question for today, it's such a beautiful meditation. We'll
Yeah.
start with, does anybody know the story of Varahi? Like, do we know the Varaha Avatar story? Shruti, would you know?
Yes, that's a very interesting question. So I would really love to hear first Shruti and you to tell what is your perception and what is Varahi Devi or Varaha Avatar. What does it mean? What does it mean for you, and what you know about it, please?
I mean, Varahi Devi, for the first time, actually, I'm hearing this entire
Mhm.
story, and it was really, really blissful. I've heard a lot, but honestly, I don't know in details anything about it. So I would love to hear from you and explore it.
Hmm.
I'll
Great.
quickly tell the story before we move on, okay? So it is
Yeah.
said that long, long time ago, so Varaha Avatar is the first avatar, right? So when the whole, the demons tricked the gods and took the whole earth inside water, and then all the gods prayed to Vishnu, and he actually came in the form of a boar or a wild boar, and he actually took the whole earth outside on his tusk, and it went up and it took the whole water. It took the earth out of the water. And also, if you symbolically look at Varaha or the boar, what does it do is it will clean up the place where there is dirt, right? So when there is a lot of, when there is a lot of dirt, there is a lot of impressions, there is a lot of, that's why it is the first avatar of Lord Vishnu. That whenever, with the help of knowledge, whenever you have a lot of, non-clarity in your mind, that is the time you pray to Lord Varahi, Devi Varahi, to get us out of all the mess that we are in and make our mind as pure and clean for it to be able to be, ready to accept knowledge. That's the story. So the first question I'll put it out to all four of you is this. Sri Suktam happens to be one of my favorite chants as well. So here Devi is adorned as someone with a golden complexion. She's wearing gold and silver jewelry. She has a golden aura. And it's towards this aura we are invoking the Shri in us. So also we pray to her, stating that by praying to the Devi Shri or Lakshmi, that we get lot of wealth and cars and houses, children, lot of servants. So I would like to ask this question to both of you. what does it mean that when we pray we get a lot of things, and why she described with that golden aura. Should we take it up with Shruti first today?
Please.
So, when we talk about Sri Suktam and if you see about the wealth part, this whole Sri Suktam is actually a symbolic of lotus, if you see. And the lotus is offered to all the devis and devatas. It actually uh, it's like you are growing in the muddy water, but still you're untouched by the entire. So that's why the Lakshmi tattva that we call, it's there in everyone. All of us have this Lakshmi tattva. So the way we do things and the way we I mean, whether it could be like a household thing or maybe any action that you do, it brings the Lakshmi tattva in you very alive. That's why the prosperity part comes from, like Guruji always says, right, do it 100%. When you say that do it 100%, that immediately that tattva comes within. Yeah. And then you will see that it starts giving you a lot of progression or ascent in life. Yeah, so that's why this Sri Suktam actually talks a lot about lotus bringing wealth, happiness. Yeah. And also if you see, white and pink lotus are, it denotes like freedom and purity. And then we also have the purple lotus and the other colors which denote a lot of aspirational side of the color. So also the Suktam has a very deeper meaning if we start reading the once you start reading the Lakshmi Devi Kavacha and all that stuff, you'll realize that there is so much more into it. Actually, over to you, James and Vera.
Who wants to say? James,
Yeah,
you first, please.
yeah, it's beautiful how you're saying how the lotus kind of arises out of the mud and into the water. And like how we look at a lotus is on the top of the water, right? It's in the balance between the, I guess, the spiritual world and the physical world. So like this, we have to be like the lotus, not too much like kind of spaced out, but not too like grounded or in the tamas of the world, right? And in Guru Puja, we say like, I offer this to the lotus feet of the Guru, and we offer it to the lotus feet of Vishnu, or all these beings that we offer the lotus feet. So there's something beautiful about lotus, or I know there's one Guru named Padmapada, and that's kind of like lotus feet, and it's one who kind of flows through this world like effortlessly, and they have lots of grace bestowed upon them. And I think Gurudev talked about this one time, where he said like all this wealth, all this Lakshmi just naturally came for me if I just went for Narayana. So like the person who naturally goes for the service of the world, like the maintaining of it, will naturally get the Lakshmi Tattva, the wealth that comes to them, the progress. Alrighty. Vera.
Right. So it's my time. And generally, as it's known, the Lakshmi Ma is the that Shakti which is responsible for the sustaining this material world in all of its manifestations. Right, they have this Ashtalakshmi, where is mentioned all the particular forms of Lakshmi, which gives the wealth, which gives the courage, which gives the family, and etc. etc. Right, and worshipping Narayana, yes, rightly say, it's also brings Lakshmi in action, and there's some chants which are like uniting the forms, like and even the names, like Lakshmi Narayana or Lakshmi Narasimha, Radha Krishna. So you can see that the Shakti goes first, and then it goes the name of the Deva, which is manifesting that. And yeah, the lotus is like it's always like a symbol of perfection. It's like the blossom, because yeah, it's sort of like grows between two. Yeah, between the water, which is like inner, symbolizing something which is under, and then something which is visible, material. So the Shakti, this Lakshmi, is actually just brings you from something unseen, whatever you could possibly see, the blossom of this lotus, and expansion in the material world. So yeah, shortly I would say this. Yeah.
Also, before we go ahead, Preeta, do you just want to hear the Varaha thing from Vera as well? About
I
the
did. But Varahi, you mean? Or what?
Yes.
Well, to start with, the interesting thing is that about Varahi, it's like a bit like separate topic, but like in many cultures they have the astrology. You have the very ancient Indian Jyotish, yeah, and then they have Western astrology, it's a bit different, and then they have a Chinese, Tibetan, and stuff. And funnily enough, the Chinese and Tibetan, they have each year is sort of governed by the, let's say, the animal or the spirit of the animal. And this year is actually the year of the boar, right? And usually it's added like the color or something. It can be golden or fire or wooden or something. So anyway, this year is actually the year of the boar. Right, so we can see that's like the year of Varaha or Varahi. And the 2020, we all must admit that it was quite hard or unexpected year for the whole planet. We used to have some local problems in this country or in that country. Somewhere is a war, somewhere is a like poverty or hunger or something. But this situation with the virus, I'm not gonna go into the medical aspects or political or whatever. I'm just saying as it is. All this situation just had a great impact on the whole world, financially, economically, and mentally and physically, in all the aspects, right? So we could see, like, as a metaphorically, we can say that the whole world was sort of like, drowning in the water of, like the deep water of something what you don't know what happened, of uncertainty, fear, anxiety, what's gonna happen, like what's next, when is it gonna be over, and so on. Many people, they're losing jobs, somebody's getting very anxious about, I might get ill, my parents or my children, this, that. So yeah, and then somebody is needed, some energy, who will just get this, out of the water and lift it. And, there are many different avatars and many different Shaktis. And you could actually see they all are sort of special for the function they do, you wouldn't really want, let's say, Narasimha going and getting the claws on the earth, because the boar gently lifts it with the tusks, gently on his soft face and the tusks. And also this is also kind of like not harmful, right? And also the boar is the symbol of the courage, which to go through that, right? And Varahi, the Shakti of Varadev, is exactly this. And when you see how she's sort of, how she is normally presented, she is in one, you can see she's Lakshmi Devi, and there you can see Durga and even Kali. So she represents like mixture of the energy. You see how interesting is all these different aspects of the divine energy. They are mixed. It's like, you know, every one of us has the mother, right? And they're all different. They're all different. They all have different lives, backgrounds, and stuff. And yet they all are mothers. They express their love differently. They, you know, have different views, and yet they all mothers, and they, you know, give their love to us and guidance. So here we have the same. We have Varayama, we have Pratyangirama, we have Lakshmi Amma, we have Saraswati, Durga, so many of them, Shakti, and yeah, so it's all very, very beautiful, I can say. The god is a chemist, you know.
Astrologically also, this whole COVID thing was actually because of a malefic planet called Rahu.
Yeah.
So this is the time when we should
Rahu.
actually pray to Devi Varahi. So beautiful. So two
Yeah,
more
but Varahi
things.
has a control of Rahu. You know, that is the point. Varahi actually is the one who controls Rahu.
Wow, this is beautiful. So,
Yeah.
you know, this word Shri has always fascinated me. So I would want your opinion on this word itself. You know, what is this word called Shri? You know, we have a beloved master. We call him Shri Ravi Shankar. And so that's one of the questions. It's an off-topic question I want to ask. It's a very personal question. You know, what does this word Shri mean to you? Okay. And two more questions coming in is, you know, when you define the Devi, it is said that, you know, she is driven in a chariot with this like which has like white horses, and she is you know, her presence is like almost a celebration with trumpets and, you know, elephants. So what are we actually signifying here? What do you understand by when you say elephants and you say trumpets and you say horses? Why she adorns so magnanimously? That's the second question. And the another question is, Shruti keeps talking about it a lot, is how do praying to the mother impacts our Kundalini Shakti? You know, so I'll take it up with James first. James.
Very nice. Very nice questions. I've heard the word Shri means virtue. And someone asked like Shri, like, why do you have two Shris, not three, not one? He said like, I think he said like, well, one wouldn't be enough and three would just be like too much if you over. And I think there was a king once and he had like 12 Shris or something, like 1,000,000 Shris on his name. So I think it's just a really nice touch to the name that adds some respect, a sign of respect to someone. Like if you say G or something, then there's that sign of respect and that composure from within that comes out. That's really beautiful. And then the trumpets and the Devi coming in on like the chariot and all those things, I kind of see like each little thing has like significance to it. So the trumpets kind of signify like the awareness of like the Devi that when we're aware, we won't really make mistakes in our life. So that awareness is there to like be kind of almost perfect in what we do. And then the horses is kind of like the quickness that she moves with, like the effortlessness that move from one like activity to the next with grace. And then what was the third question? I forgot it. Oh, you're on mute.
Kundalini. So the Kundalini energy represents Devi. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was when we pray to Devi. Yeah, that's just kind of like invoking that the Kundalini energy within us. Like I feel every goddess or god has a different energy within us, and which can trigger different things. And the Shakti or the Kundalini allows us to be more steadfast in life and have more energy and be happier as well. And I heard the Kundalini is kind of like the snake in our spine almost. And like when we activate it from the base of our spine, it travels up to the Sahasrara chakra, and we're able to feel like enlightened or blissful. So yeah. And I've heard different experiences of like Kundalini. Like some people said like they have this amazing energy where all this energy opens up. Kind of like Shruti was saying when the Manipur chakra opens up, like things start to happen differently, like generosity. Different traits start to arise in us once we have these chakras start to open up.
Shruti, do you want to take that?
So for me, I think I'll start with the last question, which is very dear to me. When we talk about the Kundalini, I think it's if you just see the sign or the symbol, it's almost like 3.5 coils. That's how the mother is shaped. It's exactly above your Mooladhar, and it's actually touches the Swadhisthana, and that's how the Kundalini moves from the back of the spine and reaches your Sahasrara. So I think if you just go to see the evolution of a man, or of a human, it started with the Devi, right? So the Devi is if you ask me why Shri also, so it's just the invocation of the divine mother energy, and like how Vera said, like every deity has, like Shiva has Parvati, and so every deity has, like Krishna has Radha. So every deity has the feminine power with her. Like I said the other day, right? The Shava becomes Shiva only because the energy is there. And that's how the energy is so important to us. And the manifestation of this energy is in the she form, it's in the mother form. And why pray to the mother Kundalini inside you? Because I think if once that opens up, everything is, the whole universe is inside you. She'll be able to direct you in all the sense that you want to go, whether it is materialistic, spiritualistic, keeping your mental health proper, emotional health proper, everything is just granted by her. So the deeper the prayer for us becomes, the deeper the surrender happens to the bigger us. Like that's why we keep also saying Jai Gurudev, right? Because it's the bigger mind. So that's the essence of praying to the divine mother, or maybe worshipping the Kundalini itself, which is inside you, and it also merges as a prana shakti that you have. Yeah. Apart from that, if you ask me about the horses, and it's also different, every Devi is having her vahan. If you see, every Devi sits on a vahan, which is there, like the horse or the boar, like we just saw the lion. So the Devi also has her different vahan, which also symbolizes different thing, like courage. And like James said, the trump is to create awareness. Yeah. So I'll definitely be with that answer, and I'll just stick to that is how even I see the different use of the things that the Devi has. Apart from that, what was the first question that you asked, Preeta?
Yeah, the meaning of Shri.
Yeah. So for me, it is like adding the divine energy, mother energy to the name.
Beautiful. Vera?
Well, yeah. But let's start with the meaning of Shri. I basically would agree with James and Shruti that the word Shri is basically means something like sacred, or like content, sort of divine. It's like Shri, and somehow, like if you say that, like inside of you, it sort of gives you like this kind of feeling of fulfillment and delight and calmness, and as you know, like let's say the Bij mantra Shrim is the Bij mantra of Mahalakshmi. Right, so the people who just they really targeting themselves to get wealth or something of as I know, they quite often suggested to chant the mantras with the which are beginning with the string. So it's like the Bij mantra, the root of Mahalakshmi. And getting to this so appearance of this particular form of on the horses and the elephants. And so, I think it's symbolically just showing the that some like everything is possible, because if you know when Puranas and the other scriptures, when they were written, the humanity had a bit of different let's say material values, right? So if it was written today, it would be probably the mother would be riding a golden Bentley with the diamonds, right? Or it's a joke, of course, but the horses and the elephants, let's say they are not like just basic animals. It's not the something like what you use to actually work on a field, or no. You see, the white horses, this is like special, white horses and the elephants is really something like to impress you. If you talk about Lord Surya, the sun, he also comes, with this I think 5 horses, right? So that is like symbolically showing you how infinite is this wealth, material or spiritual, whatever you want, to achieve, right? So by surrendering to Mother Divine, and you will get whatever you can, like you can even think about. All your desires are so small comparing, to the infinite potential. And this trumpet sound, this I think it's like yesterday's we had Chandragada, the sound of the bell, yeah. And also I think in some pujas, he also used the sound of the conch, they demolish the conch. And all these sounds, they have this tone which sort of wakes you up, because the mind gets sort of like, 5 senses, you see all of this and you just like, oh, wow. And, you are not in the present moment. You might be blinded by something what is very beautiful, or maybe you just completely opposite. You just get inside of you with your thoughts, like, I'm not happy, I just want this, but I'm never gonna have this and stuff. And then you hear the trumpet, or the sound of the bell, or the conch, and it's just like, when people do arati, why do they ring the bell? Somebody said it's to wake up the divine. No. They think that divine, what is it? Somebody like some grandfather sleeping on a cloud. No, the divine is everywhere, and the one what you need to wake up when you ring in this bell, or like blowing a conch or trumpet, it's you. You just get your mind in the present moment. And wow, that's it. And then you just, once you're in the present moment, you are experiencing this joy, happiness, and this is when all this wealth and luck, it just comes to you free, because you don't have a blocks. You're not stuck with anything. Human wishes are normally so small, right? And quite often the universe would already give it to you if you wouldn't get stuck with that. You just think about something and you don't let it go, and you just sit with it and just store it somewhere inside of you and just think, I want this, but I cannot. The divine would give you already much more, right? But you're blocking all your channels, just concentrating on something very little which you didn't get a long time ago, or whatever. So yeah, that's why there's a sound of trumpet. Wake up, get out, there is a, let's say, like the feast, celebration is happening, and you're just sitting there and being miserable. Yeah, like a bit of fun, but try to say this way. So
Also it's said that, when another question is, there are so much of, in any religion actually, when you have to say certain very deep knowledge or wisdom, it's told in form of a story, like how you tell a 6-year-old, right? So here also I would want you all to tell me if certain deeper meanings of this. So it is said that, when we pray to Devi, uh, she drives away this delusion and ignorance in us. And she also, people, when you pray to her, it drives out or destroys the hunger and the thirst and the impurity, and it brings in inner glory and the outer prosperity. So what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by the hunger gets destroyed, when the thirst gets destroyed, the delusion goes away, and then the inner glory is glorified, and the outer prosperity also you get. So, what start with Shruti? Shruti, want to start?
So, when we talk about this, like the thirst, the hunger. So, I think the whole 5 senses of the human being, gets completely zoned out. And what happens when you close these 5 senses, you're able to tap into the inner source, the source from where everything is created. And I think the moment you have reached that point where you're able to create yourself, I think that's where everything starts automatically happening to you. Yeah, that's what happening to Guruji also, right? See, he is the source. He's actually being to the source where everything is created. So he doesn't hanker for everything or anything. People come to him to give him. Yeah, so I think that is what the question for me, and my understanding towards this question is that once we try to understand that there is no pleasure in this 5 senses. Actually, going outward is not the solution, but going inward can actually make you more expressive outward and also very prosperous outward. So people actually try doing it the other way. They try achieving everything from the outside, but inner they are completely empty, void. There is a void. But this question tells me that the moment you start going inside, inward, when your journey starts inward, you will see that automatically the things outward settle down for you. You're automatically prosperous. You get what you need in your life. I think so many art of living teachers, they share this experience, like they have so many homes. Guruji says even in the desert you will get the sweet in your life. Don't worry when you're serving me and when you're going inward. So I think I've experienced this very deeply when the faith in you becomes very strong. Yeah, when your inner core being, then you don't fight for things. Then you know that if it is yours, it will happen to you. You don't fight. Okay, you don't go into that rat race of being a, of course you have your own chunk, but the easiest way to be a good achiever, is through the silence within us. And I think that's what the emphasis is of this entire question. To you, Vera and James.
Who will start? James or me?
I kind of see the Devi as like Sudarshan Kriya, like kind of ridding all the negative energies and like kind of lethargicness. Because when we do Kriya or meditation, or like when we do Kriya specifically, like every cell of our body becomes alive and we're just kind of sucking out the stress of every cell of our body. So like this, the Devi kind of like lights us up from within. And going along with like the senses, and actually Patanjali, they say like when you get drawn too much into one sense, this affects the other senses as well. And we're kind of losing that sight of what's within us, and that like vairagya, the dispassion is needed in life to just know that we are the center constantly. And like when I see Shri, I'm very surprised how he never like gets thrown off, because there's like tons and tons of people, and he somehow knows that like which person to talk to and like how much time is needed. So that skill is very amazing to see. Just not be swayed away from different things. Like nowadays we have technology, Zoom, all these things that are kind of just we get constantly thrown away by different things like news and stuff like that. So the ability to have that dispassion is very powerful, and also the passion is there. So I feel like the Davy is the passion in life, the outward movement of like kind of getting active in life and being dynamic, and then the also dispassion of going within and keeping that energy within. And this one king Ashtabakra, he had a disciple that wanted to become a disciple, and he was like, okay, you have to go through this whole kingdom, this whole fair, and have a glass of milk in your hand. And you're not allowed to spill that glass of milk. If you spill one drop of it, you get your head chopped off. So the disciple went around with that glass of milk and he was terrified. And he was like, Ashtabakra, I can't, like, this is so hard. Like, I'm terrified. Like, I couldn't enjoy anything outward because, I was so focused on this milk. So Ashtabakra's like, yes, you see, this is exactly how I have to rule. I have to keep all my attention within so I don't get stuck in the outside world and all these pleasures and all these things, which is pretty amazing. So I think one who can be like that, their attention is that much outward, yet somehow it's always inward, is quite a feat to have.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Vera.
So yes, talking about this subject, I can add about the the all these things like hunger and like desires and stuff. Once you get devoted to Devi or Bhagavan and you get it all fulfilled, you shouldn't be worried about anything. The main thing is that first of all, when person is worried, the person is constantly having disturbed mind and rotating there all these scenarios of what happens then, oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose a job, I'm gonna be starving, I'm gonna lose the home, I'm gonna this. So, and as we all know from the like the first course, wherever you go, you put your attention, it grows. You just basically targeting your energy on the negative scenarios in your life. And if you just, the thing is that if you will be all the time just every day finding the story somewhere on the internet about the planes crashing, and every time you go to the airport and you think, oh my god, I can die, oh yeah, so, and it will happen to you one day, because you're just inviting that. Same about the getting ill, when you just constantly rotating this in your head, like, oh, today there's 100 people died, like this COVID is just basically behind my door already knocking, and now I will die, but when you just concentrate your attention on something like, on Devi, yeah, or on Guruji, on something which is pure, which is fulfilled, which is sort of showing the qualities of peace, of the what everything is just like everything is there. You getting relaxed, and basically your attention goes to that, and you becoming that, so all these little things what you wanted, they're just getting fulfilled automatically. You don't have to worry, because the worries and fears and the negativity, these are the things what make you stuck, right? And that make you feel small. But when you just you pray to Devi, and just feel it inside, and you have the courage and the trust, and like in any situation that you're not alone, and in this world there, the Shakti, the nature, there's so much that there's nothing to worry about. And so it goes, it's like there always will be somebody who will give you some, food if you need, who will help you. And you might have maybe some troubles or something, and there will always somebody will come out of nowhere and just helps you. So this is how the Shakti just just everywhere, and how it manifests in like in God's help, in any form. Of course, like so human, or you just can find something on the road. If you have this faith in you, and you're just walking, or like you just got fired from the work, and you're just walking on the road and you're thinking, oh no, I'm just this. If you just walk, well, okay, I lost a job, but that's no problem. Well, I'm gonna get another one. It's no problem. And you can just go and oh, there's some money on the road. At least I can buy myself some food. I had some experience like this. So, just being in divine, in divine energies, it just makes everything possible for you. You have the courage, you feel the power, to obtain everything. Being stuck in this small, shaky consciousness, that is when you're in trouble. So, yeah. And just to add, I think it was first day of when we had Lalita Sahasranam, and it was said that she's prana, the life energy, right? So this is very deep. The fact that like this is the unconditional love, prana, the life energy. It comes to you without any discrimination. It doesn't matter if you are criminal, if you are have done this or that. If it doesn't choose. Oh, I don't come today to this boy, he behaves bad. Or I don't come to this girl, she was she didn't do homework. No, the prana goes to you without any particular sort of favorites, right? So this is unconditional love, and there is the sort of is that love. So what else you can want? So that's it. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I'll summarize it. Like all the discussions that we had. It's as if like she is the substratum of the mankind. Like all our core energy. In fact, even the core is her, and she dwells. So we pray to her that she dwells in our life, in our family, as a as a good fortune, and may she resides in our heart as fragrance, and and leave behind this residue of abundance. May our heart yearn and speech try to express her glory. So with this prayer we end our session today. Shruti, would you like to close the session and say what we are going to do next tomorrow?
So we'll keep that as a surprise because we are taking it one day at a time. And trust me, it's been such a beautiful journey for us as well. I think we are learning, and in the same way, we are seeing that people are also learning with us. If you have any thoughts, and if you have any feedbacks, comments, please drop into our chat box. But this is just a opportunity or a possibility that we three, four of us wanted to explore from our side. So thank you so much for being patient, to everyone who is here, taking off time and definitely speaking about it. I think that's one thing that keeps us going and going and going. All of us over here, we love discussing. We love understanding perceptions and knowing more about the Devi, like how Vera just said it today, a beautiful understanding of how the Varahi Devi is also in the Chinese calendar. It's something so new for us to understand. It's something so much to take away. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. Let's catch up tomorrow again, 8:30, and yes, something new. We'll have new chants, and definitely we'll have new questions also around. We should just give a big applaud to Preeta, who brings up such wonderful questions to all of us. That's like a trigger, that's where your mind starts answering these questions, and it just happens. So thank you so much, Preeta, for such lovely questions. Yeah.
Preeta, that all goes to you.
Yes. Yeah. So with this,
Thanks to all of you.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of you who participated. And it was very, very nice to hear what, each one has to say. It's sort of like adds, to me, it doesn't look like something different, or, because people might think, oh, we just arguing or trying to find what's there. No way. It's like, the broken mirror, and from all these pieces, how each one see something, we just get like a puzzle together, and it's just very, very, it's just amazing. It expands your knowledge of understanding, gives the food to your intellect, to your mind. Much better food than thinking about, what he said, what he did, what is on the television, and all the other stuff. Yeah. So it's like yagya, talking about something spiritual, about something blissful, when it's so much unnecessary rubbish words are just said around, hatred, this, that. And here we try to just maintain blissful, nice content. So thank you all.
Yeah. Also, we're just throwing out messages to the generation that we belong to, that, it's so nice to have our tradition, our cultures in place, to know more about them, to dive deep into that. That's also one of our purpose, where we actually are looking for all the youngsters who are coming up with the same thought process, mindsets. Maybe someone who's also different can also have a conversation like we have, and maybe explore the possibilities of everybody is born spiritual, so I can't say that, if you think you're not spiritual, then that's the intellect, but everybody over here is born spiritual. So that's one purpose that we also want to drive through, through all the youngsters being on the platform as well. Yeah. What do you think, James, the youngest one? Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. All right. So with this, let's end it up, Preeta. Yeah. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. See you tomorrow. Keep smiling, guys.
You too. Blissful Navratri.